So, I had emergency surgery last week and have an incision that is quite large, totally didn't expect it, and that can impact how I change my ostomy, so let's talk about it. Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and if you've been following my channel recently, you might already know that I had emergency surgery last week. Unfortunately, I had an ectopic pregnancy that very suddenly ruptured, and I wound up in the emergency room, and they took me back to the OR very quickly. Thankfully, I am doing well now. I'm recovering well. But I have an incision that is very similar to a C-section incision. It's quite large, and I just didn't expect to have to be dealing with it. As much as I would love to take a pause and just relax and recover in this period, I can't do that. I can't ignore my ostomy. There are still things that I have to do with it. I have to manage it, I have to empty it, I have to change it. But if I can make my system last as long as possible and stick as best as possible, that really helps a lot. I want this ostomy bag to stick on there as long as I can get it to, not just because I'm lazy and really just want to be laying in bed, but because I want to avoid leaks. Where my incision is, it lays right underneath of my stoma, and I want to keep that incision as clean and as dry as possible. Well, it gets a little complicated when you have a stoma that has output. Today, I'm going to show you my new and not so improved post-op belly, as well as the product I've been using. It's really helped in this recovery period, and that is the Flow Assist Seal from Ostoform. This is something that I've been using for quite some time when my output's a bit looser. It's really been useful for that. But right now in this recovery period, I just want my bag to stick. I want it to stay stuck, and this is what's helping. As you can see, thankfully my stoma was untouched during this surgery. It was something that going into the OR, I was really nervous about. I have a really good routine with my stoma. I'm not looking to change it, but I do have a large incision at the bottom of my belly, and that can kind of complicate your ostomy change even if it has nothing to do with your stoma. Each time that I've gone for abdominal surgery, there are considerations I keep in mind when managing my ostomy, even though the surgery had nothing to do with my stoma. And one of those is how tender my belly is after a procedure. I think adhesive remover has been one of the most helpful things after surgery because it helps me remove the old appliance as painlessly as possible, reduces the pulling on the skin, but it also helps me clean my skin as gently as possible. The other thing that I have to keep in mind, especially with the incision that I have right now being underneath of my stoma, I worry about leaks. I worry about when I do my bag changes, like right now, I don't want my output getting onto that fresh incision. This is the time of healing, and I just don't want it to get infected, so I have to be really careful with that. And that's why when I think about my ostomy bag changes and the products I use, I want my ostomy bag to stick as well as possible. I want the least probability that I'll experience a leak, and I want my ostomy appliance to stick longer. I am actively recovering, and I am probably gonna nap after this video, and the less that I have to deal with my ostomy, the better. The Flow Assist Seal from Ostoform is a seal that I've shared on YouTube before. I've been using it for quite some time now, really using it a lot when I have a looser output or when I'm looking to extend the life of my ostomy appliance. The Flow Assist component on this ostomy seal directs your output towards the bottom of your ostomy bag rather than letting it sit up by your stoma, which tends to facilitate leaks. It also holds its integrity longer than other seals I've used. With the new design, they've strengthened the bond between the hydrocolloid portion of it and the Flow Assist component, so it doesn't quite disintegrate at the rate of other seals. And the best part of the new design that I think I am most excited for is that you no longer have to cut extra room to accommodate the Flow Assist when you're sizing your ostomy flange. So you just size it to what you normally would, and you're good to go. It's also thinner and more discreet and very easy to place around your stoma. Gonna do this very carefully, making sure that I get nice and close to my stoma, and then I can remove the backing here. I love that you overlap it. That really gets you that tight, secure seal around the stoma. The one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is you want to make sure that the flow assist actually comes through the stoma opening, which is pretty simple. And then you want to make sure that your flange is pushed all the way upwards so that flow assist is right up under your stoma. That allows it the best opportunity to let your flow go down. And the seal is actually very low profile. It's now only 2 millimeters thick as opposed to the 2.4 that it was before. So it's very low profile, very slim. And my favorite is that I don't feel it on. I don't feel it at all. Don't worry, I'm going to show you an up-close video of how I put the Ostoform on, really detailing how it works and why it's so effective for ostomates like myself. I really just wanted to show you what my belly is doing right now, what it looks like, and kind of the changes that I make to my ostomy bag changes. This is gonna last me, I wouldn't be surprised, 4 or 5 days, which is really nice. It gives me the opportunity to just relax and not worry about my ostomy as much. So that is super great. Fortunately, I was able to get some video clips prior to my surgery, actually like I think the day beforehand, showing you the Ostoform seal and how I place it on. And I'm a really big fan of the smaller packaging. That's the first thing you're gonna notice if you've ever used the old Ostoform seal. The package is smaller, it's easier to travel with, and a smaller carbon footprint. The first step to any ostomy change is to wash your hands and also prepare your skin however you normally would. I usually use a little bit of skin barrier spray, let it dry, and then you can remove the seal from the packaging. But before removing the backing, before removing that clear film, just make sure you warm it up in your hands for about 30 seconds. Next, you want to make sure to align the flow assist spout with the opening of your stoma. Since mine faces downwards, I just keep the flow assist right underneath of my stoma. The easiest way to position it is actually to hold onto the flow assist and then press it onto the skin right under your stoma. As you apply the seal, you'll want to make sure that the ends overlap. So typically I'll remove the back portion of the clear film as I'm applying it, and then once I get it fairly close into position, I'll take off the front film and then I'll overlap it. This is how I get the closest fit around my stoma, really get a good seal so nothing seeps underneath of it. For your flange, cut it to whatever size you normally would that fits your stoma. You no longer have to cut the extra 5 millimeters for the flow assist, which is absolutely fantastic. The more simple our process gets, the better. When placing that base plate or the flange, you want to make sure that the flow assist spout comes through all the way through your stoma opening. And then you want to make sure that you push your flange up as close as it can be to the flow assist. That makes sure that it's got a perfectly good seal and none of the flow assist is showing. That flow assist component is what helps direct your output to the bottom of your ostomy bag, keeping it away from the edges of your stoma, so that way no output can seep underneath of your flange. Once everything is all in place, you can then apply some light pressure around your stoma. I typically do this just by using a couple of fingers, pressing right around the stoma to get a good seal, to get it to adhere well. And then if you don't already have the ostomy bag on, you can do that. As you can see, I'm wearing a one piece in this film. Only thing you want to see is the actual flow assist into the bag. You don't want to see any of the seal adhesive. And that is all there is to it. It's very simple, very straightforward, even more so now with the new design. And it's really given me a lot of peace of mind in this recovery period when I just want my ostomy bag to stick. I want it to stick for a long time because I don't want to mess with my stoma. If you are interested in trying a sample of the Flow Assist seal, make sure to head to the link in my description. Now is really the time to try it with the improved design and how simple it is to apply. I love that I can't feel it. I love that I can use it with whatever brand of ostomy supplies I'm using at that moment. And I love the extra security it gives me. It really makes me feel like I don't have to worry about my ostomy right now. It's just one less thing to worry about, which I love. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and thank you to Ostoform for sponsoring this content. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at letstalkibd.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.